Okay, this is an initial introduction to Hivemanager, the management system for the AeroHive access points. And this introduction is aimed at school techs. School techs have read-only access to Hivemanager, the idea being that they should be able to get into Hivemanager in order to familiarize themselves with the Wi-Fi setup at their own schools and to be able to do some preliminary investigation and analysis if they get complaints of wireless issues from the teaching staff at the school, and also that they perhaps just get a general idea of what's going on in order to help with troubleshooting by perhaps filtering out preliminary complaints where there's a tendency to blame wireless when in fact wireless has got nothing to do with the problems. So it's a web-based management system, and what you have to do is you have to type in the URL https, and then it's Hivemanager. But I'll type it in above, even though I'm already there, but I'll type it in just so you can see it. Hivemanager, in fact, you can see it's all there. hivemanager.palmbeach.k12.fl.us. When you first type that in, you may have to click through a certificate warning, and then you will put in your credentials, the same credentials as you use to log into a Windows PC, and you're going to then hit the login button. You won't see this. This is the fallout from the data center shutdown, which happened over the Christmas vacation period. But you will see a requirement when you first log in asking you to agree to terms and conditions, and you will click through that. What you will initially see is the dashboard view. If you look across the top here, and this is a little bit overwhelming as I recall myself when I first saw this, but you have home, dashboard, monitor, reports, maps, configuration, and tools. The ones that are going to be of interest to you are dashboard, monitor, and maps. I inadvertently just clicked on maps, and I'll also click on monitor. Now, I'm not going to dive into any of these in too much detail. I'm just going to give you a quick overview in this first video. So if we return to dashboard, dashboard basically gives you some kind of hopefully useful graphical information about systems. And for school tech, of course, you're interested in your own school. So if we were to take, now the schools are organized under this device groups here. You'll see locations, school district, Palm Beach County. Then there's elementary schools, high schools, middle schools, other schools, and other sites, non-school sites. Now, within elementary schools, I've actually added in some additional layers because there's so many of them. So we have elementary A to C, D to H, I to L. I'm still working on this, to be honest. But let's decide that we're going to look at Hope Centennial is one that's been totally mapped. So if we look at Hope Centennial, and one of the things that's slightly annoying here is that as you go in here, everything is expanded rather than being everything unexpanded. So let's look at Hope Centennial. It's got one main building. And what you can do is you can look at the whole school, all the buildings, and the diagrams will update. And so, for example, we can see that there's one particular access point which has got all the data usage. I'm looking at the top right diagram here, and this access point 111B00. And we're looking at the number of clients, overall clients, and you can see they're very low numbers of clients because we are doing this on a non-school day. If we were to scroll down, we can also look at the overall bandwidth usage across time, and we can see that most of the activity that went on in the morning. Now, this is for the whole of the school campus. we could then potentially drill down. If I just click on the building, this is the only building, so the diagram will just repeat itself, because we don't have multiple buildings at this location. But we can see that the diagram just repeats itself. But then we could potentially look at one of the floors. So click on the second floor, and we'll see that the access point that had all the data disappeared, and now we're looking only at 1566C0, where it's notable that all the data occurred on the 2.4 gigahertz band, and it's really not that much data. It's only 400 kilobytes, which is really almost nothing. And again, very little to see here, but it's just showing the fact that with a full topology, which meaning that we've mapped out the school, the buildings, and the floors, you can drill down to those buildings and floors from just the school level. The only thing is that we haven't fully mapped out many of the schools, and if you are a school tech who thinks that you want to use this, then I would ask you to contact me and say, yeah, I want to use this stuff. Please map my school out for me, because I would rather prioritize the schools where there's an interest on the part of the school tech to have access to this kind of information. We're going to go into a bit more detail about the dashboard graphs, the various types of graphs, in a subsequent video. So now we're going to go over and look at the monitor screen, which is probably the thing that you might most look at when you were troubleshooting. So we go to monitor, and if you look on the left, there are various kinds of devices that can be monitored. There are access points, routers, switches, and VPN gateways. We are really only interested in access points, and we're actually, in your case, only interested in AeroHive access points. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on AeroHive APs here. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to show us a table. And if you look over here, you'll see that there's 14,000 items organized in pages of 200. This is all 14,000 AeroHive access points, which are in the district. And of course, that's not what you're interested in. You're really interested in your own school. So what you have to do is create a filter that will allow you to select only the access points in your school. If you look down here to the left and towards the bottom, we have the filter area. Now, a little idiosyncrasy of the screen software I'm using is that it does not show you the full list of filters that I have. I clicked on that and I'm looking at a massive list of filters. You apparently can't see them. So what we're going to do is click on the plus sign to add in a new filter, and the way to get only the access points at your particular school site listed is to use the first half of the IP address. So if we were to take Part Vista, for example, all schools' IP addresses begin with 10, and the second part is unique per school. So Part Vista is 23, and I'm going to put the dot afterwards. So that will, if I just click search, that would temporarily give me the filter for Part Vista. What I then want to do is click Save Filter As, and then what you should do is type the name of your school in. So CHS. I'm not actually going to do that because I already have a Part Vista filter defined. But if I were to click search, it will do the search at this moment in time and also save that filter into the drop-down list. But I'm going to cancel, and I'm actually going to use my already existing Part Vista filter. There we go. So this pulls up a list of all of the access points at Part Vista. You can see that they've all got the IP address 10.23. something. And again, I'm not going to go into too much detail here beyond the fact that this is one of the areas of interest to you. There's going to be another video showing you how to customize this table and what the meanings of the various fields are and how you might use it. The one thing that I will always do is I will always organize by location. Okay, so this gives me the things organized by location. And I'm about to run out of time on this video because I've got a 10-minute limit. So I'm going to stop it there, and the next video that you'll see will be specific to monitoring.